Peace, family. This is Lions Den with another news and commentary. You know, this article is self-explanatory. Um, Tomorrow is a big day in the city of Dallas. The grand jury will decide Amber Guyger's fate, whether she will be indicted or not. Now, there's no surprise that other fellow officers before her either hasn't been indicted, and even if they were indicted, they'll be acquitted of a charge of killing unarmed black men and women in this country. Now, the article says why a Dallas grand jury won't decide whether to indict Amber Guyger until at least Friday. And obviously, that's not a surprise because they want some grand jurors who are supported police officers will be as a grand juror. And this is very interesting. And I'm going to go ahead and read this article. This is, of course, again, this is from the Dallas Morning News. It says the Dallas County grand jury went home Wednesday without deciding whether to indict a former Dallas police officer in the shooting death of an unarmed 26-year-old in his apartment. Grand juries heard testimony all day about whether Amber Guyger should be charged with murder, manslaughter, or nothing for killing Botham Jean in his Dallas apartment. Let me stop you right there. We already know why they haven't decided, because obviously, more than likely, and I might be wrong, but tomorrow will be a big day, but more than likely, like I told you on my previous videos, Amber Guyger might not even be indicted at all. If you have, grand jurors who didn't decide on a Wednesday to indict, there's not going to be a surprise that Friday won't. I mean, I would be highly surprised, ladies and gentlemen, if this woman will be indicted, because you got bench jurors, and I'm just being saying like this, who supported police officers. They either be acquitted, or even if the grand jurors will not seek an indictment at all. And that's the truth, folks. So I'm going to continue with this, and this is just really interesting to see about this case. So it says, grand jurors heard testimony all day about whether Amber Guyger should be charged with murder, manslaughter, or nothing for killing Botham Jean in his Dallas apartment. They won't return until Friday to either hear additional testimony or vote on an indictment. John was watching a football game when Guyger fatally shot him September 6th. She told authorities she mistook his apartment for hers and thought John was a burglar. But again, I'm just, like I said, I'll be highly surprised if Amber Guyger will be indicted. I'll be highly surprised, because the way it looks right now, if they didn't decide on a Wednesday whether to indict her, what makes you think they're going to decide on a Friday? Continue on. Guyger, 30, was off duty but still in uniform when she enters John's apartment at the Southside Flats complex in the Cedars, a few blocks from the police headquarters. She told authorities the door was ajar and unlocked when John family disputed, saying he was a meticulous person who wouldn't have left his door open. Guyger was arrested and charged with manslaughter 3 days after the shooting. She was booked into the Kaufman County Jail and released on bond within an hour. Dallas defense attorney has said murder is the most appropriate charge for Guyger because in Texas, manslaughter charges are reserved for reckless acts. If Guyger intended to shoot Jean, even if she wrongly assumed he was a burglar, murder will be the charge that fits best, they said. Guyger's attorney, Robert Rogers, has not returned phone calls seeking comment. The Jean's family's attorneys said they were hopeful that a murder indictment will be handed up. Anything else we feel will be a miscarriage of justice, attorney Lee Merritt says. Merritt says Allison Jean, Botham's mother, took the stand before the grand jury Monday. Botham's sister, Alyssa Charles Finley, was on the stand Wednesday afternoon, Merritt says. If Guyger, and I'm just going to say this, ladies and gentlemen, if Guyger is indicted on the more severe charge, she will be rearrested if that's, if that's the case, if that ever happens. And if that happens, it's possible she could turn herself in at a jail outside of Dallas County, as she did previously. It's also possible the grand jury could decide not to charge Guyger. See, you notice that when she was on bail, that night she was charged. Nobody ever heard from her or seen her. They don't even know where she was. She was in hiding. And now they was probably waiting for the grand jury whether to decide to indict her at all. And like I said before, if they haven't decided on a Wednesday to indict her, what makes you think they're going to decide on tomorrow to indict her? And I might be wrong, but the way it looks to me they're not going to indict Amber Guyger at all. They're not going to do that. Because if they did, I would be highly surprised if they did. Then she will be rearrested and hopefully charged of murder. But the way it seems, and the way the jury in this case haven't decided yet, that's not good news for Jean's family. It's not good news at all. Again, my thoughts and prayers go to the Jean's family. But the way they play the system out, and unless the jurors say, you know what, yeah, she killed him, literally killed him, let's indict her. Unless the jury has done that, I don't see any indictment against Amber Guyger anytime soon. Well, leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this article. Share this video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my reaction channel. And subscribe to my Black Junction channel for all the news and commentary. With that being said, this is Lions Den signing off. Deuces.